Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 317 of The Twilight Children. My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Considering yesterday I was pretty not good.
Well, then...
Had a stomach thing going on yesterday.
Yeah?
But much better.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
You know what caused it?
Subway sandwiches.
Yeah. Did Jared get you?
He did. He did. No, I think Listeria or whatever got me. Whatever grew on their cucumbers in the 10 hours they were sitting there before I had one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never eat Subway at night, people.
Never eat Subway, people.
Actually, they're my favorite fast food breakfast. They really are.
Okay.
Like, I love their breakfast.
Every single time that I eat Subway, does not matter what time of the day I go, it causes me physical pain in my chest.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Huh.
No matter what kind of sandwich I get, no matter what time of day.
Really?
Physical pain in my chest.
I wonder if there's like a certain ingredient, like maybe something in their breads or their oils or...
Yeah, I don't use the oils, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's gotta be bread or spinach or cucumbers or whatever.
Or just general bacteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Huh. Yeah, I'd stop eating there then.
Yeah. I have for the most part.
Okay. Well, see, I don't eat there that often, but I found myself in possession of 5...
$1 footlongs?
No, even better. 5 coupons for a free 6 inches.
Oh, yeah.
With no purchase necessary.
Right.
You just walk in. That's what I did too. I walked in and I was like, I usually get chips or a cookie, but I was like, I'm going to spend $0 today.
Yeah.
And so I gave him the coupon and he gave me the sandwich and I didn't have to buy anything. I didn't spend a penny.
That's awesome.
Didn't even tip.
You know what? Well, nor should you have.
They have a tip jar though.
No, they shouldn't. Because it's fucking Subway. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You have just made me furious.
I've tipped before, but only if it's like...
Why?
Well, because they'll be like, here's your 46 cents, and I'm like, I don't...
Fucking Subway.
Right. I know, should I put a tip jar up at Mavericks?
If anyone is stupid enough to contribute to it,
right,
then sure, you can guarantee that I will never.
Yeah, I always think that's weird. Like, oh, okay, so Mavericks, the store I work at, is right next door to Christopher's restaurant.
Sure.
Which I'm sure I've eaten at thousands of times.
Right.
And
to put it modestly.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's been there. It opened the same year I started working at Mavericks. Right. And they have a lot of vegetarian food. And I eat there like 4 or 5 times a week, probably.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever tipped for carryout. Ever.
Yeah.
And then, the other day I was behind somebody and they tipped the carryout person. And then, okay, so my girlfriend works at Christopher's now.
Sure.
And like later when I was talking to her, I said, so I was like, I know somebody had tipped Amber when they did the carryout thing. I was like, you're not supposed to tip the carryout here, are you? And she's like, well, I mean, she's like, it's not required. She's like, some people do. And I was like, oh my God, I probably owe that place like $10,000.
No. Nope. Nuh-uh.
I've never...
Tips or for service only.
I didn't know it was for...
Nope, it's not.
Nope. I've never tipped a carryout.
If you eat there, and there is a waitress bringing you your food to you and waiting on you...
Right.
Yes, tip. If you are getting carryout, like that.
Oh, and like maybe if like somehow there's like an exceptional thing, like like hey, here's a.
It would have to be the most exceptional thing.
Like here's a free cookie for your nephew
sure,
or something, something like that. But like, oh, well, here's $1.
Yeah. Nope.
Wow, but yeah, it kind of blew my mind. I mean, I still haven't tipped. I've eaten there like a dozen times since then, and I still haven't tipped carryout. But it just kind of blew my mind. I was like, is that something people do?
Nope.
I mean, I think I'm even like maybe someone who tips places where other people don't. Like, I think we had the conversation once. I tip when I go through drive-thrus, like the beer drive-thru type places.
That
I always just tip because they're like in the cold and like they're serving. I don't have to get on my car.
I can't remember what exactly I said when we did talk about that before, but I'm kind of split on that one.
Yeah.
Cause, yeah, they are out there and they are kind of hustling to get you whatever,
Right. And you're not even getting out of the car.
Right, yeah.
Like if Christopher's had a little drive-through window that I pulled through and I didn't even have to get out of the...
Oh, I still wouldn't tip that for that.
Well, see, that would even be more annoying because I'd have to leave Mavericks, get in my car,
well, sure.
drive through, then park, and then go back to Mavericks. So I would probably even be less likely to tip in that scenario. It's like, I just used 20 cents in gas. For no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And like she said, she wasn't even like, oh yeah, you should be, but
right.
she was like, yeah, some people do, and I was just like, that was just...
I think those people are in the wrong. They've sadly now raised expectations for...
I know, right? Like, now it just makes me think, like, every time I go there, I'm like, have a nice day, there's your tip.
Yeah. Like, I'll tip, like, for delivery and stuff like that.
Right.
But, because they are providing a service.
Yeah.
But there is one place I will not tip for delivery, and that is Jimmy John's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they factor in the...
Well, no. I do. I think most places do whenever they have a delivery charge. I will tip maybe a little less than I would to anyone that doesn't.
Right.
But, no, Jimmy John's once stole money from me, so, now whenever I order from them, I will not tip.
Oh, they stole, like
$5 out of my bank account once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not cool of Jimmy John's.
No, it's not. But sometimes they are a necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And they're also, just maybe a slight step above Subway as far as, food quality goes.
Yeah, I've eaten there maybe twice, and yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a good giant cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, the cookie was my favorite thing.
Yeah. And you know what? Occasionally I will indulge in a pickle.
Oh, I love pickles. Love them.
Yeah. I'm starving. I have not eaten
Oh,
dinner.
I'm sorry. We should not talk about food.
It's all right. It just occurred to me now.
Well, perhaps we should get around to talking about the comic that we should have started 8 minutes ago.
Whatever. You know what? The people who are listening to us, if they've been listening for a while, they know what they're getting.
Yeah. We eventually kind of talk about something.
Right.
Maybe.
And also, free. Just like when you go to Subway with a free coupon.
Yeah, hopefully we don't give you ass fire later.
Right. But at the same time, you're like, well, it was free.
Right? Yeah. I know, exactly. Like, the crazy thing is I still have 5 more of those coupons. I'm like, yeah, I'll still use one.
Yeah.
You
know what? If I had free Subway coupons, I would probably use it too. Because it's free.
I'll just go earlier in the day.
There you go.
Because their veggies typically just sit there because, I'm sure not that many people get every veggie. Right. I get, all the veggies on mine.
Yeah.
So I'm sure one of those things has been just sitting there for hours and hours and hours.
Yep.
So yeah, early in the day, I learned my lesson.
There you go.
Twilight children.
Twilight children.
I don't think you said the creative team.
I did not, because I can never remember if it is Gilbert or Jaime.
Oh, it's Gilbert.
It is Gilbert, I've learned now. Gilbert Hernandez and Darwin Cook.
Yeah.
And Dave Stewart.
Yeah, pretty big names there.
Indeed. Pretty talented folk.
I love them all.
Yes. Even a Dave Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even especially.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I love Darwin Cook.
Sure.
And I really like Gilbert Hernandez. I'm not a huge Hernandez Brothers fan. I mean, I've met them. I've talked to them. I've bought books by them. I've read them. I like them. I've when I met them, it wasn't just we were hanging out. I went somewhere specifically to, watch them speak on their comics, and it was awesome and it was cool. But
well, they are legends for a reason.
Yeah. Especially independent comic legends. But I've never been a huge fan of anything they've done. I like what they do, but I'm not they're not in my top 20 favorites. But Darwin Cook blows my mind on a pretty
consistent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only Hernandez anything that I've read was Fatima the Blood Spinner.
Oh, yeah.
That we reviewed for the show, and that was also Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Darwin Cook is pretty much a consistent favorite for me as well. And you know what? Yeah, Dave Stewart is pretty goddamn great too.
He is phenomenal.
Right?
Just like, I mean, he does a lot of Mignola stuff.
Yes.
Or Mignola, whatever you pronounce it.
I'd go Mignola.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like, and we're Americans.
Right.
But
So is he.
but I think it is Mignola. I think it has like a weird kind of, should have one of those little symbols over the G though.
Yeah.
You know? Or
Right.
just no G at all.
Right.
You know? But yeah, so Dave Stewart does a lot of his stuff too, and it just looks great.
Oh yeah. He is a talented feller.
Mm-hmm.
As again, all these fellers are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, Darwin Cook, though, normally doesn't work with other people.
It's so weird to me. like whenever I heard this announced, like back in like August or whatever last year, I was like, wait, what? Like, that's a really weird combination.
Right.
Cause I mean, yeah, not only does he usually not work with anyone else unless it's maybe Jay Bone, but it's such a weird, like, I was like, I gotta see that to see that. You know,
Right,
like I can't picture that. I can't picture a Hernandez, book drawn by Cook.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty weird. And I did a little bit of reading up. I guess, the editor of this book said to Darwin Cook, hey, how would you like to do, you know, a Vertigo comic, but, you know, like collaborate with someone? And I guess his only choice was Gilbert Hernandez.
Really? Wow.
And they said, okay, let's make it happen.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
Right? So here we are with the complete 4-issue series. The 4th issue just came out this past Wednesday.
I would say it's hot off the press.
It is,
Yeah.
almost, yeah.
It's lukewarm off the press.
Yeah, there we go. So it's kind of a sci-fi comic.
Kind of, yeah.
Maybe.
It's like a slice of life / sci-fi. I
guess,
mean, it's a lot about. It's kind of a weird sci-fi mystery set in this like unnamed Hispanic island.
Yeah. I mean, at least definitely something near the shore.
Yeah.
The coast. I mean, yeah, they don't specifically say where it is. It could be Mexico, could be further south. Don't know. But
where do we start?
right?
Okay. It starts off normal enough. It's just like people, you know, like kids exploring and like people cheating on each other.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like these crazy giant white orbs, not unlike the rovers from the Prisoner
That is
series.
immediately what I thought when I first saw that.
Especially when it was by the water.
Right, yeah.
Maybe that's why I was thinking island
Yeah,
because of
okay,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, these like crazy silent orbs show up, and they don't drag you back when you're leaving the island. That's not what it is, but they do other weird stuff.
Yeah, mostly blow up.
Blow up.
Yeah.
And
incinerate things.
and people.
Yes. Now I kind of want to just rush into that part.
Right? Yeah, sure.
So anyway, these orbs show up and, like, almost as soon as they show up, they kind of just disappear. Nobody knows where they come from, and, you kind of get the feel that they've popped up a lot.
Right.
Like numerous times, and nobody, they're just sort of a part of life
It's
in
kind of like
this village.
like a tornado would be.
Right, yeah.
And here in the Midwest.
Yeah. And so, a group of kids find an orb in a cave near the beach, and it kind of blows up or whatever, and they're all blinded.
Yeah, the girl touches it.
Yeah.
Which it might be the first time, someone, like in this storyline, touches it without, being captured by one or something.
Right.
Like usually it's, they either see it or the orb like steals people away.
Right.
But this girl, like, actually touches one, and then, yeah, it just blinds all three of them.
Right. And so then, in the second issue, we see multiple times, I think it's the second issue, where, to me, it just became a comedic thing, where people are just being obliterated to bits and their clothes are left behind.
Yeah, right?
Like 6 or 7 times throughout the story.
Right? Yeah, there was like a weird element of dark comedy to it.
Right.
I could see that.
But there, yeah, there's a lot of characters. So no real.
There's not like a main character.
Yeah, there definitely isn't. If anything, the main character is Ella.
Okay.
I would say, you know.
Well, kind of. I mean, she
but-
shows up at the very end of the first issue.
Right.
And it's weird, though.
Well, everything revolves around her.
Everything revolves around her, but I kind of feel like the Felix is sort of like the character that we as the reader are like seeing the story unfold through.
Yeah, kind of.
Because he's like the outsider that shows up at this town to investigate. He's like a scientist that's investigating the disappearances.
Yeah, I don't think I even knew that he had a name because everybody just calls him a scientist.
Right?
And I'll just go ahead and say I don't exactly know what happened throughout this book.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, I read what I read, but, like, as to, like, what exactly anything meant, I'm still not entirely sure.
Well, I kept waiting because, okay, the first issue, yeah, it's all kind of set up and, it's, like you find out this guy named Bundo, his family's been kidnapped. And,
right.
And he's like a drunk now and he just hangs out on the beach and drinks because he's kind of bummed.
Well, his family apparently burned in a fire that he caused because he's drunk and he had a lit cigarette. But then we find out later that one of the orbs showed up and just obliterated his house.
Yeah. Right.
Which, what we learn later is that, it doesn't necessarily kill people when the orb explodes or whatever. It just kind of transports them somewhere.
Yeah. And sometimes it brings them back totally naked.
Right? Because apparently it does not like clothes.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a futuristic railway system to an alien nudist colony.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really weird. So basically throughout the series, the scientist is trying to figure out what's going on, and he's kind of caught in this love hexagon.
Right.
It's not even a triangle. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And I think the fourth issue, I kept expecting to like tie up all these strange, I'm like, what's this mystery? Oh, I'm going to find out. And like, I didn't watch Lost, but I kind of feel like maybe I understand where people are coming from when they're like, yeah, I still don't get it.
Right.
Like, it just kind of like continues to be really weird. And Ella, the character you mentioned earlier, who seems to have this connection to the orbs, like maybe we still don't know. I still don't really know what her deal is.
Yep. Not a bit. And then we also find out that one of the characters that we've seen a couple times throughout, he's also somehow involved. Anton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Not okay. Tito's the lady that's kind of sleeping with everybody.
Yeah, not Anton. Nicholas.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is somehow like he was there when Bundo's family was spirited away or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like talking to the orbs, and he's like, "I won't go back to where you're. I've found love here." And like that's the only thing that I can think of is like, I don't know if this book is about like some sort of finding love or something, because like towards the end when Ella is like battling these orbs, there's 3 dudes around her.
Right.
One is Felix, one is
Nicholas,
one's like the government agent guy.
Yeah.
And like, some of those characters are obliterated and one is not. And I wonder, and like, without spoiling it, but we kind of just did.
Yeah.
But, so, okay, the government agent and Nicholas are obliterated by this orb, and Felix and Ella sort of embrace and kind of like smile.
Right.
And the orb does something really weird, and like you think it's burning them to death, but they're smiling.
Right.
I don't really, I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. It's like, I love it. I love watching it and trying to figure it out, but I don't think I get it.
Right. Yeah. I feel the same. Like, I mean, yeah, this book was very enjoyable, but by the end of it, I was like, well, but what happened?
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's all about like people's memories keep getting erased throughout the series. Like things happen where like, I don't remember what I was doing. Like, it's almost like, you know, they're somehow losing their short-term memory.
Right.
And at the end of the book, it seems like everything has changed. Like, relationships are different, and like, you know, it's not like people are trying to pretend that they're different. They're just different.
Right.
And, it's like the orb reset things when it kind of blew up there towards the end.
Maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, the three kids who, okay, at the very end of the book, we see Bundo having a memory of his family.
Yeah, like playing with his family.
Right, and he's got three kids, and there's also three kids throughout the story, and for a couple minutes, I was like, well, are those kids his kids?
Oh, okay.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Because I had to look, and
they're different.
They're different, but it confused the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then something to do with that cave, and
I know, right?
You know, I didn't think
it's
about.
Weird.
I did not think about Lost at all while reading this, but now that you've mentioned it,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and there's no way I will not read this again. Like, right. I will definitely. I should say it differently. I will definitely read this again,
right.
Because I enjoyed it so much, and it's beautiful, and it's intriguing, but I don't get it. Yeah, like I don't know what I just read.
Yep.
But I kind of like that, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's not so head scratching. Like, it's not, you know, Dorfler or anything like that. But, you know, because I mean, there's a narrative happening.
Yeah.
I just don't get the narrative.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't get what the resolution is.
And I don't mind that. Like I said, I mean, I've only read this twice. I mean, I love David Lynch movies, and some of them, it took me like a dozen watches before I was like, oh, I kind of see what's happening now.
Okay.
You know, so I feel like this is something I could read once a month.
Right.
Until maybe I figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe I need to smoke some weed first. Like,
I don't know.
Sometimes that helps. But yeah, it's very weird.
It is.
But in a linear way.
Right,
yeah.
Like even, I think Fatima was something that I got more than this.
Well, that was more fun, though.
Yeah, but it was also obtusely weird.
Well, you know what's weird, too, is another book came out, I guess it was last week, called Blubber. It was the second issue of Blubber. Blubber.
I've never even heard of that.
Blubber. It's a book written and drawn by Gilbert Hernandez.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of like short stories.
Okay.
But it is similarly bizarre, but in a different kind of bizarre. The entire book is like weird alien creatures walking up to each other and jacking each other off and shitting in each other's faces and just having erections and saying weird things. And
did you say Gilbert Hernandez or Pat Kane?
It is very like indie weird, but it almost seems like kind of forced.
Right.
Like it seems like he's I've read some just really bizarre like debauchery comics that I'm like, oh, that was fun. But when I read Blubber, I was kind of like, I really felt like it was like him trying maybe a little too hard to just put weird phallic scenes and jokes in there. Like, it didn't seem very natural. Like, his art is great and his cartooning is swell, but I don't know. I didn't really care for Blubber. I guess that's why I bought the first two issues, and if there's a third one, I'll probably buy it because I'm like, it's aliens masturbating. Of course, I want to read that. Yeah.
This is my favorite genre.
Right. Yeah. Since Stan Lee retired, you know, where else are you gonna get that? But I like this in a much, like, I think this is bizarre in a much more palatable way.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Like I like it and I'm intrigued by it. I think there's either things that he's trying to convey that I'm not getting, or it's so like just an id thing from his brain that he's like, I'm not really sure what it means. It's just imagery that, poured through me or something,
Right.
Like I like a lot of artists who say things like that. They're like, I don't really get it either. They're like, it's just, it was just pumped through my brain and like, this is what came out. And,
Right.
So I don't know. I'd be curious to read an interview with him and see what he said.
Yeah, before I told you to come over, I looked up online to see if there was like anything that could help me figure out.
Right?
But like, I mean, I think there was like a small review of like the final issue, but I was like, I'm not gonna, read that. But
maybe it's too fresh.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe when I get my own copy of issue 4 in, I'll go ahead and read them.
Yeah. I'll definitely check it out again.
I mean, if anything, it's freaking gorgeous.
It is, and I've read enough Gilbert Hernandez stuff. Like I haven't read a ton, but I've read some Love and Rockets and some other things, and I've read enough that I can see his art in here. Like I could see him drawing this. And I love his art.
Right.
But I think I like it a lot better because Darwin Cook drew it.
Right.
I think it's really neat to see their styles kind of overlap like that.
Right.
Whereas if Gilbert had written and drawn this, I don't know if I would have been as into it because I would have just been confused and been like, it's just a really weird story by Gilbert Hernandez. But like, I don't know, seeing someone else's take on his script kind of makes me more intrigued for some reason. Like, even if it wasn't Darwin Cook, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Like if Rob Liefeld drew this or something, that'd be great. He's working with Jaime Hernandez right now.
That's right.
He's like, I'll do another DC book, but only if Jaime writes Deathstroke the Terminator.
You know what? I'd read it.
I would too.
Yep.
Oh, if either one of those guys was doing Deathstroke the Terminator.
No, not for me. I would do it if Jaime were.
Yeah.
But if just Rob Liefeld, I'd pass.
Yeah.
But Jaime and Rob Liefeld?
Right. That'd be...
Yep.
No, that's a good pairing.
It is a must-buy.
As long as Dave Stewart's coloring it. He is an unbelievable colorist.
He is.
Like, it's so subtle, but what he does is really cool. I mean, I don't know. Just like with Darwin Cook's really simple, cartoony background art, like just some of the color choices he makes, it looks amazing.
Yep. This is a very well done comic that I would recommend.
Yeah.
But
if you don't mind like having to think a little bit about
right.
And maybe not being able to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know anybody else other than me and you. I know one other guy that buys these, but I don't know anybody else that I've talked to that's read this. So.
I'm sure Joe has.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
At least, I think he was getting them.
We should ask Joe.
We should ask Joe.
He's smart. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, bigger brain.
Yep.
Or if the listener has any idea, have you read this? Have you read along? I mean, it would have been nice if you read along with us.
Sure.
We hope you always do, but
it would be nice if you talk to us once in a while.
You never talk to us anymore, listener.
Yeah. We don't bobsled enough.
I know we don't. Of course, it's like 80 degrees outside here today.
It is unseasonably warm.
It's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, the Twilight Children. I'm glad I read it. I just not entirely sure what I read.
Yeah, I me neither.
If anything, just it's always a joy to see Darwin Cook do more artwork.
For sure, he's amazing. I know these guys are all three.
Oh yeah,
great.
Yep.
I just happen to have a personal preference for Darwin Cook.
Yeah, I think he's been doing the Parker books for a while, for the past couple of years. So I think this was his first non-Parker thing in a bit.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm not sure.
Except for maybe some covers, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, he did like all those
DC the wide
covers.
Yeah, I loved those.
Those were fucking amazing.
Yeah,
they should collect those in a book.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Marvel put out the hip hop covers in a single issue.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit up, DC.
Yeah, come on. I know you're listening, DC.
Yep.
You gotta be one of our 3 listeners, DC Comics.
Yeah,
Twilight Children. It's all out there. I'm sure there'll be a collection soon.
I'm sure. Yeah.
This is one of the, like, I think there was like a dozen new video books launched in October.
Yeah.
So far, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, so far this is the only one I read.
I've read like two or three other ones, just the first issues. I read like Survivors Club and one other one. Can't remember. But
Clean Room?
wasn't
Unfollow?
Wasn't Unfollow. Wasn't Slash and Burn. I feel like there had Jacked. No.
Red Thorn.
I feel like there was another one. Maybe there wasn't.
Lucifer.
I kind of, no. I read the preview. I kind of was interested in Jacked, but haven't read it yet. So, I don't know. But yeah, I would recommend this.
I would too. Yeah, we'll take a short break.
Yes, let's do that.
Alrighty then.
Hi. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
So, how's it going?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Things are pretty good. I love the weather today. It's like the nice fall weather
It is.
in January.
It's like 60 degrees out there.
Yeah, we exaggerated, but yeah, it seriously is. It's like upper
Yeah.
upper 50s.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It was yesterday as well, too.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
So, yeah. Have you heard the big news?
Oh yes. No, what is the big? I don't know.
Well, I know I broke some news to you earlier that Abe Vigoda passed away.
Yeah, I did not realize that. I've still, been on a shave about Glenn Fry.
Right? Oh, but this is even more heartbreaking news.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we might offend one of our listeners.
Uh-oh.
DC Comics. So DC is relaunching their Hanna-Barbera line.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Revamping it for the 21st century.
Oh.
Including wacky races.
Yeah.
As I forget, I think it's just called Wacky Race Land. And they've got the designer from Mad Max Fury Road to help design, like, cars and stuff.
I don't remember Wacky Racers. I don't remember.
It was like all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but they would like race across the desert. It was like a weird kind of, it's a mad world.
Gosh, I don't remember that. I remember the Laugh Olympics, but I don't.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like that,
okay.
but just with, they were racing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Flintstones with Amanda Connor doing the art.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it is uncomfortable looking.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because they are drawn as if they are like slightly more realistic people cartoons.
Because her art's pretty cartoony.
Her art's cartoony, but she still draws,
like proportionate,
and
right.
like humanistic characters,
like realistic anatomy, and
right, yeah.
Other than Power Girl,
right, yeah. She's got realistic anatomy,
right?
It's just not every female character has to have 44 double Ds,
right? Exactly.
Yeah. But no, yeah, because it's the Flintstones. They are very stylized, and but when you see them in sort of realistic proportions, it's off-putting.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even with Amanda Connor drawing it.
Because, their heads are huge and they have no necks. And,
and, like, Dino looks like more like an actual dinosaur with scales, and it's weird.
Oh, weird.
Like it. What else?
Is there a Jetsons?
No Jetsons. But there is a Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
As redesigned by Jim Lee himself.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Well, if you think a tatted up, super bearded hipster Shaggy is great, then you, sir, are in for a treat.
That's too bad.
And also tatted up Fred.
So, but they're kids' comics?
All ages, but yeah.
Kind of like the Archie line.
Kind of, yeah. But for a modern age.
Huh.
Yeah. And Velma is now like a 12-year-old girl with giant, like, bug goggle things, and Daphne is basically a giant-titted, Gen 13 type character, and they all have giant tech guns, and I think they've got like some sort of excuse for why Scooby can talk, because of course we need a reason.
Oh yeah,
for all of that. Yeah.
You can't enjoy it without it being explained away.
Exactly. But there is one that actually looks fucking fantastic, and I will absolutely be on board for this one.
Captain Caveman by Jeff Darrow.
You know what? If that happened, absolutely. But no, there is one called Future Quest.
Okay.
And it is basically it's a crossover comic between all the sort of Hanna-Barbera action characters. So
cool.
Basically
like
Johnny Quest, Space Ghost, the Herculoids, the Galaxy Trio, etc., etc. Is done by Jeff Parker and Doc Shaner.
Wow. Okay.
And that one, not surprisingly, has been getting a lot of positive feedback on it because they didn't feel the need to needlessly redesign all those characters.
Yeah.
In dumb, horrible ways.
That's cool.
Jim Lee.
Jeff Parker is pretty great.
He is. And Doc Shaner is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we recently read something by him? Maybe.
I don't think so.
I feel like maybe we just talked about him.
Doc Shaner did a short in the Thrilling Adventure.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. He's really good.
Yeah. So I mean, that one looks pretty cool.
Wow.
Wacky Race Land might be okay, but I'm definitely the Scooby-Doo thing is so fucking.
So is Jim Lee drawing it, or he just designed it? He just
designed it. Yeah. But Keith Giffen, I guess, is writing it.
Weird.
Right.
Weird.
And I think Howard Porter is actually drawing that one.
If Giffen was drawing it, I might be interested.
I would be more on board with that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to show you the picture of hipster Shaggy.
Wow, hipster Shaggy.
Yeah, and like, like the one thing is like Shaggy's lazy. being a hipster involves a lot of grooming.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, he just wants to lay in that van and eat snacks with his dog.
Right.
You know,
his talking dog.
Yeah.
You know why it talks? Because who cares?
Yeah, right. It does not matter at all. And I can't remember, but weren't like, you know, the gang the only ones that could understand him? Or if
I think like other people could understand him too.
the weird like old guy at the hotel or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Apparently, is that this comic is all the supernatural stuff is real.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no
old man in a mask.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's not Scooby-Doo.
Right? Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Scooby-Doo is supposed to crush your childhood dreams.
That sounds Scooby-Dumb to me.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, and the title of the book is Scooby Apocalypse.
Okay. Well, that's better.
Yeah.
At least they're owning up to it. That they're ruining it. That's too bad. But do you think Batman or the Addams Family, Harlem Globetrotters will cross over?
Isn't there Scooby book now? Isn't that like crossing over with
Team Up? There's a Team Up book. Yeah.
Those look fun.
Yeah, those do look really good. I've never read one of those.
I mean, and I say this as someone who kind of hates Scooby-Doo. Like, I've never really...
Oh, really? I loved
it.
I loved it when I was a kid.
I mean, maybe when I was a little kid, but for the most part, like, I've tried rewatching things, and it's just, I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't think I've enjoyed it, like, in the last 25 years or anything,
right. But, you know, there's just things you don't fuck with.
Right? Yeah, tatted up Fred. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, you can modernize the stories without having to, you know, change some of the things. Right?
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder if that's... Yeah, it might be in the new previews.
It could be. They just announced it like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be checking out Future Quest for sure.
Right? Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Herculoids.
Right?
You can't go wrong.
Nope. Galaxy Trio.
Dinosaurs that shoot rocks out of their horns or whatever.
Gloop and Gleek.
Yeah. Is it Gleek?
Gleep.
Gleep, yeah. That
Gleep
sounds right.
was the monkey
from
Super Friends?
You mean the iPhone from Smallville? That's right.
What?
There's an episode of Smallville that had the Wonder Twins, and Gleek was the name of their iPhone.
Oh, so many questions. Most of them.
How do I know that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the 3 episodes of Smallville I watched. I watched the very first one.
Yeah.
I watched that one, and I watched the very last one. That was the only 3 I ever watched. I think I maybe saw like half of one that had Aquaman in it.
Okay.
Because they made a JLA joke. It was like the Junior Lifeguards Association joke. And I was like, oh, that's funny. I saw that one come up all the way up Ordway Street or whatever. Or Gil Kane Avenue. But yeah, no, seriously, it was like their iPhone was named Gleek. Yeah.
All right, then. Yeah, thank God I stopped watching that show. Although I watched it for far longer than I should have.
Well,
I think I watched like the first.
I did too.
Yeah, well, to be fair, yes, you did. I think I watched the first 3 seasons of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah. And then after that, I was just like, man, this show is terrible. Why am I watching this? And then I think I saw maybe 3 more episodes after that. One was the Aquaman one was the Justice Society one, and the final episode.
Right.
Which
was the best one.
Oh, yes. just ask our friend Joji,
yeah,
who is not at all still angry about that.
I think I watched that one with Kathleen, and I think she was like throwing things at the TV by the time it was over. It was like watching my grandpa watch wrestling. He was like, kill that fucking Indian! But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that caused some stuff online over the last couple days. And you know, I mean, like the Scooby-Doo thing is stupid, but like there's only so much energy I have to be angry about that.
Right, yeah. Like I'm sure it's just something we can avoid.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah. Yeah, as a retailer, I'm curious because we only sell like 2 or 3 copies of Scooby-Doo now to a couple kids, but I'm curious if that's something anyone else gonna like invest in or like be interested in.
Well, I mean, you know, how well do the new Archie books do?
Yeah, we do. We sell about a dozen of those.
Because it does seem like sort of a reaction to that almost.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like when you said it.
Yeah.
I really like the Jughead comic. I haven't read Archie yet, but
I have not read either.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun book.
Because I think I was checking out the Chilling Tales of Sabrina.
Oh, yeah.
That was, and Afterlife with Archie, and I think it's been like 3 years since an issue of either of those have come out.
There was a year between, I think, issues 3 and 4 of Sabrina, and then I think they're finally doing the Christmas special for Afterlife, but it's not coming out until like summer. No, I think it's like a year and a half late right now. We thought like, oh, okay, they're waiting until Christmas, and like we thought it was going to be out at Christmas time, but and I think it's coming out like this summer.
Yeah, I mean, is Francesco Francavilla still?
I think
involved?
so. I think the thing is, he does like at least 2 variant covers every single week.
Oh yeah,
like he is super busy with variants.
He does do a lot of those, and because I follow him like on various social media, so he's always posting like new art, but it's never like pages,
right? Yeah,
it's always a pinup or a poster.
I'm sure he gets paid so much more to do that. Yeah. Comics don't pay a lot, kids.
No, they do not.
I thought me and you would have been rich by now.
Right?
All the comics we'd run.
Sure. Nope.
That
has not happened yet.
We got to do variant covers. That's why. That's what it is.
Actually, it's weird. There was a couple weeks ago, I happened to be watching Jeopardy, and there was it was Wheel of Fortune. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry too.
Yeah, and there was a guy who was a barista and comic book artist.
Oh, wow.
On the show.
Nice.
And he actually wound up winning like $62,000.
That's
which
great.
is like a huge amount for a Wheel of Fortune.
And for a comic book artist.
Right? And I remember I was on Twitter and I just happened to see like someone like say, well, if he's such a comic book artist, why is he also a barista? Is the comic industry that rough? It's like, yep.
Yeah. Right, it totally is.
Yeah. Unless you're fucking Jim Lee or Scotty Young.
Right.
You're
ask
struggling.
Ask Bill Mitlow how rough it is.
Oh, rough.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much unless you are just a major name. And if you're not an artist, because I think artists have at least a little bit more longevity in the comics industry than writers do.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I would assume.
I don't know.
Because, Bill Sienkiewicz, he barely does any comics, but he's still a recognizable name. And he's out there. But he hasn't done anything in a while.
Right.
But I think he's one of those that can get by on his name.
What's a pretty big name?
Well, yeah. It is. But, like, Bill Mantlo.
Right.
Created a ton of great characters and wrote a shit ton of comics in the 80s, and now, obviously he's, I think paralyzed, some brain damage, and he was in a horrific car accident, but, can't get taken care of, and doesn't have any money, and, he's just in a bad situation.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess once they're no longer working, I just feel like with writers, a lot of times they can write 2 or 3 titles a month.
Well, yeah.
Whereas an artist sometimes struggles to get one done a month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's factors for both, but,
Yeah.
the comic industry does not really necessarily treat its people well unless they are, huge names.
Right, like Kirkman and Jim Lee, and I'm sure those guys are billionaires,
Well, yeah, Kirkman for sure.
Yeah, and Jim Lee is probably a millionaire.
I'm sure Jim Lee is doing just fine.
Yeah. He doesn't have to shit all over Archie Scooby-Doo to make a living.
He doesn't have to,
but he will.
Just wants to.
He will. Yeah. Yeah. That, or he could I don't know, finish 5 of the 10 books he started and never finished. I don't know.
You mean the fantastic All-Star Batman and Robin?
Yeah, that one, or Batman Europa, or Wildcats, or whatever.
Yeah. Europa's out.
But he only did the first one.
Oh, yeah. He only ever was going to do the first one.
Oh, okay.
Because it was supposed to feature, Italian artists doing it, or European artists. Which he is not. But that was like 6 years late, something like that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Wildcats, how many issues of that? There was only the one, right?
Yeah,
the
Morrison.
Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Of course, I can't remember if that was his fault or Morrison's fault.
At this point, I don't know.
I mean, like that's one of the few things that Grant Morrison wrote that I just had zero interest. I was like, oh, that's cool, but...
I bought that first issue.
I didn't.
Weird and poorly drawn.
I love Grant Morrison, but that's just one of the things I was like, well, I'll just wait till his next project happens.
Yeah. Claws is like that for me right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I read the first one and I really liked it, but I haven't read the second one yet. I think the third one comes out this week. So yeah.
If I hear that it's a must-have, then I'll pick up the trade.
The first one was surprisingly good, but yeah,
it's just weird.
Right? Yeah. I know. I was just so curious. I was like, why is he writing a book about Santa Claus?
Right. Yeah.
But it was different. It was good.
Of course, I also I bought like the first 6 issues of 18 Days. But then I realized that he wasn't actually writing that fucking book.
Well, why would you think that just because his name is the only name on the cover of the book?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I read the first one, and I was like, I don't know. I actually thought he wrote it too.
Right.
Even until I finished reading the first one, and I was like, I didn't really care for that.
Yeah.
And then I realized later that he didn't even write it. So it's like, oh, well, maybe that's why.
Yeah. He's written some not great stuff in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
Sebastian O.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite thing I read by him.
I'll even go so far as to say the mystery play or mystery.
Oh yeah, mystery play with John J. Muth.
Yeah, I mean it was okay, but not great.
Yeah, it was all right.
Kid Eternity.
Yeah. He's done some stinkers.
Yeah,
but he's done a lot more awesome stuff.
That is also true. Yeah. Yeah.
Good old Grant Morrison.
Good old Granty.
Wonder what he's doing right now at this moment.
Jerking off.
Probably.
For some sort of magic.
So we're all three doing the same exact thing right now.
Well, for different reasons. Yeah. he is doing it to perform some sort of ritual.
We're just trying to make it through this show.
Yep.
It's one way to keep going on.
Yep.
The show must go on. I think that's what you said, like during the break.
It was.
You pulled your pants down.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think now it's about time to end it.
Oh, so the show doesn't have to go on.
It does not have to.
So you were incorrect earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Often am.
Well, it's been a long time. I think we should go on.
It's been a while.
Yeah, well, it's been a while.
It's been a while
since we've had a field trip.
Oh, yeah.
So
wow, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what the last time
was. It Public Enemies or True Grit?
Maybe
True Grit. I think.
What's Public Enemies? I don't remember.
That was the gangster one with Johnny Depp and Christian Bale.
Did we see that?
Yeah,
I don't even remember that movie.
With Pat Kane.
Oh, gosh, that must have been a great movie. I don't even remember it.
Oh, it was not.
As I don't even remember ever seeing that movie.
Oh yeah, yep. Michael Mann. Yeah, it was about.
It's like not even in my brain.
About a famous gangster of some sort. Dillinger.
Wow, yeah, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah,
like I remember. I think there might have been a hip hop band by the same name.
I think maybe we used Dillinger Escape Plan for the song on that one. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that film at all.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, it's been a while.
Yes,
since we've had a field trip. So yeah, next week I think we're gonna avoid the Super Bowl crowd
as we usually do.
But this time, instead of hiding in your office, we're gonna hide in public.
What?
We're gonna.
Are we going to a sports bar?
Yeah. There should be nobody there. No, we're gonna go see Hail Caesar, the new Coen Brothers film.
Nice.
Starring everybody in Hollywood.
Pretty much, yeah. I've seen one commercial for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
It looks impressive.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm on board and excited.
Me too. I'm excited that there is a new Coen Brothers movie, and I'm excited that we're going to do a field trip.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Again, yeah, it's been
years,
at least,
I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, because Pat hasn't lived here in years.
Right.
So if that was our last one, that's been a while.
And I think, I don't know if that was our last one. I think maybe True Grit was the Coen Brothers movie. And I think we saw that with Kathleen, but she did not guest on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she watched the movie, and then we all had some Godfather's pizza.
Yeah, we did.
I love the Godfathers.
I do too. I pass it every day. I'm like, I should get a pizza.
It's so expensive. It's like
is.
$25 for a pizza or something.
Yeah. But it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But enough food talk. I know you're hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
So, Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Heil Caesar?
I think it's a hail.
Hail, okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Either way, however you want to pronounce it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll say it sometime in the movie. There's always a titular line, right?
Always.
Yeah. All good movies.
Exactly. Just like in Die Hard.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to die hard today.
Yep.
I think he says that. Isn't that his big line?
That is
he
his,
says over the
catchphrase.
Over the walkie-talkie.
Yep.
I'm going to die hard.
And then, then in Die Hard 2, he says, I'm going to die hard too. Die harder.
Oh, yeah. I remember. That's my favorite scene in that movie.
You know, the one they didn't do it was Live Free and Die Hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just too long.
Yeah.
There's a lot too many words for Sam Jackson to remember.
Actually, I don't remember.
Oh, no, he wasn't in that one. He was in
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah. Plus, he should be used to a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. Man, no. I think I mistitled the terrible Die Hard movie that came out.
Oh, Die Hard with a Vengeance?
No, Die Hard with a Vengeance is good.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
The fourth one is not great, but it's okay. But the fifth one is the one I'm thinking of.
I've never even seen... Okay, I have seen the third one. Okay, that's as far as I got.
Yeah. The fourth one, like I said, you could skip it, but it's not terrible. But the fifth one is terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the one with his kid?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, though.
Die Hard and Son?
Could be, yeah.
I'm Die Hard and this is my son. I think that's what he says.
Yep. All right, Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Sweet. Looking forward to it.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.